Hello, this is just a quick shout out to everybody who works at DWP. I'm only using this one as the example because I have received £5,000 worth of debt from DWP from the periods of 2008 to 2014 for the alleged overpayment of tax credits. Is that child tax credits or working tax credits? I don't know. Was I overpaid? I don't think so, because at the time I gave actual figures, and so if I've been overpaid, it's incompetence on the part of DWP, who cannot calculate actual payments to people. What's got me thinking, because I've been so angry about this, because I start my job in a few weeks now with £5,000 worth of debt, which they are at the moment taking from the universal credit, but they are also going to be taking it straight from my tax. So they're going to readjust my tax and take it from my wage. There's been no discussion, there's been no reasoning, there's been no appeal process. I've wrote to them today. Will I get anywhere? I don't know, because it appears that they are now above the law. Since the duty of care was removed from the UK a couple of years ago, things have just descended rapidly here in the UK. It is not a nice place to live for the poor. I am trying to get on my feet, and every time I get up onto my knees I get kicked back down by the government. But this is just a shout out to those who work there who are not bad people. When things like this happen, there's a tendency for us to all overrun with it and go, everybody who works there is sick, psychopathic and evil, because these people are constantly now sanctioning people, and you are also getting harassed on universal credit. You have to do things all the time and attend meetings all the time. I am on the sick, but it's not called a sick note anymore. They call it a fit note, which doesn't make sense, because a fit note would say you are now fit to go to work. But anyway, the point of this video is to say there are people who work there who are decent, and they're not usually noticed or recognised because they are overshadowed by those that are not. Not everybody enjoys sanctioning people. Not everybody enjoys causing harm to other people. And there were people who went for that job probably believing that they were going to be doing a service to the general public and that they were going to do a good job because they cared about people. But we forget about that when things happen that are negative, and we start to blame them and say it's your fault that there are people starving, it's your fault that people are becoming homeless. Now, some people will still argue and say, well, of course it's their fault, because if we don't stand up collectively, then this is why the world crumbles, because people don't stand up for what is right. Now, the reason I'm having some empathy now for these people is because you imagine being in a job that you started to do because you wanted to make a difference to someone, because you wanted a job for yourself so you could better your own life and have some money in your pocket. Then imagine you get that job, and some of these people that I deal with have been in this job for 30 years. So the system was different then. Now it's changed for the worse. And some of them I can see struggle with the conscience, because the decent people having to do things that go against them. And what happens when they go home? How do they feel about themselves when they've had to sanction somebody? If they don't sanction someone and meet the criteria and do their job, then they lose their job, then they have to go and sign back on, then they go on to universal credit and they are automatically sanctioned for walking out of their job. Now, I don't know if anybody's on universal credit at the moment. I was one of the first on it here in this place, and you are on it for life now. Even when you work full time, you are still on universal credit. If you leave a job for any reason that's not seen as being reasonable, then you are sanctioned for up to 3 years. That means no rent rebate, no benefits, no sick pay. So this is serious, this is really bad, and what this is going to do to people is pretty shocking. And they've already got me for £5,000 worth of money I don't owe. It's alleged until proven otherwise, and they haven't proven I owe it. So if they've done this to me, what are they doing to other people, and what is the consequence of that as well? I'm not actually fit enough yet to go back to work, but I am forcing myself to do it to get out of the system, which has actually pulled me back into it. Because even when I'm working, I still have to, in effect, sign on. Because you get a universal credit website page for yourself that you and your support key worker, or whatever they're called, you have to communicate to each other on that. And they can decide to set a task for you, like you must attend a meeting, or you must agree to this or do that. And if you don't do it, all it keeps saying is you face up to a 3-year sanction. So they're actually enjoying this whole sanction thing. Not the individuals here, I'm talking about the government, because that's who put it into place. So I just want to say that I feel sorry for anybody in a job like that who has to do something that goes against them, because they know it's wrong, but they do it because they have children, they have bills. They can't just walk from one job to another. We don't live in those times. So it's just a shout out. Not everybody who works there is bad. I have seen people there who are really decent people who are struggling to do their job, but they're so scared to stand up and be like me. I am the kind of person, and I've done this 3 times, so this is proof of what I do. I have literally walked out of jobs and made myself homeless on purpose, and lived in my car and in a tent and in a caravan just to keep my morals. And not many people could do that, and I understand. If I had children, I couldn't have done that. I would have had to have swallowed everything inside me like a bitter pill and continued to do a job I hated for the sake of my family. So please just remember, when you go and you're getting told things that make you feel angry, they are not all bad people there. I just wanted to say that. So I'm going to go, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.